21 degrees, 10:29. I just, you know, I love this music. And some people probably wonder, like, why is she always listening to Chill? Does she not have any other stations? I do, but I just don't like listening to them. I like Chill. I don't know. I'm like obsessed with Chill, I guess. Obsessed. And I have BPM. BPM, I have to be in the mood for it. It's got a lot of that bam, 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 you know, which I'm okay with. There's some times that I want to listen to that, you know, like if I'm on the expressway, I'll listen to that because I have to go fast. Sometimes when I'm around here and if I listen to it, I start going like over the speed limit and I'm afraid to get pulled over, you know, so I won't listen to it. Ooh, the neighbors got a cover for their little barbecue pit. We need a newer one. Ours tore. I don't even know how it happened, but it tore. It wasn't that much though. He got it at the Home Depot. The husband, I mean, he got his cover at the Home Depot. Is this car like, you know, earlier a car almost hit me because all of these vehicles are parked on the side. Oh, they're carrying. Oh, they collected cars or what? Look, are they like the Wreckersaurus? The repo, I mean? Look, see all these vehicles that are, oh, I dodged myself again. Doxed. All these vehicles right here, it's hard to see over here. And then I have this big old thing here that's a blind spot. Okay, let me put your phone down so I can see what I'm doing. Okay. Well, a car was coming from there earlier and it almost hit me because I didn't see it. And it didn't see me either. So it's neither of our faults, but I don't think he saw me. I definitely did not see him, but I was able to stop in time. And I had my waters in the back, and all I heard was boom on the back, you know. But fortunately, everything was okay. He was okay, I'm okay. Nobody hit each other. We were able to stop. But yeah, I wanted to call the city today and let them know, like, hey, you know, you all need to do something. I know I probably sound like a Karen, but yeah, I'll sound like a Karen and I'll be that Karen if depends on my life, you know? If it's gonna save my life, yeah, I'll be that Karen. But anyhow, oh, no, I'm behind, okay, they're turning over here, thank goodness. I was behind that repo guy, I guess. I don't know. I don't think he's a repo because he doesn't have a name on a business or anything. I don't know how that works. Anyway, so are you all looking forward to Halloween? I cannot believe that it's almost Halloween. And I went last weekend, the husband and I, we don't seem to have good luck with flea markets. I don't know if I spoke about this before. I feel like I have. I don't know. But we don't have really good luck with flea markets. We went to Brownsville because my other son, my older son, had recommended it. You know, he and his girlfriend bought some, bought some boots for the wedding that's in October. It's going to be on Halloween. And I said, oh, that looks like a good store, you know. And so the husband and I are like, yeah, let's go check it out. Well, that was the only good store in the whole place, you know. And it was really close to the border. So we were both like not very comfortable in that area. And so we just turned around and came back. And that's when we went to the Chinese buffet for dinner. Peter, if you're listening, I went to the Chinese buffet, but I didn't see you there, Peter. What happened? Peter's another YouTuber that I follow. He's always talking about the Chinese buffet. And if you want to follow him, I have been following him since 2015 or 16 one of those years, give or take. And he just talks to the camera, and it's like a diary for him too. He's just talking about his life. Of course, he has way more subs than I do, which is okay, because I mean, that's not my end goal anyway. But he has such a calming voice that you can't help but just keep listening. And whenever I listen to him, I feel like I'm listening to a friend. I feel like I just called up a friend and I'm like, hey, how you doing? And you know, he starts telling me everything, you know, what he did with his cousin, with his husband, what he thinks about life, what he thinks about this, you know. And he's got many channels. So if you want to follow him, Peter Mon. I'm not sponsored, by the way. But yeah, and I don't always comment on his comments. I don't know. I kind of like, when it comes to his comment section, I think I kind of read the room, you know? And if I don't see anybody familiar, I more than likely don't comment. And that's with any channel. Just like another channel that I follow, David Nino Rodriguez. Love the last name, by the way. And I've been following him also for about that length of time. And I do, in his live chats, I will go in. I missed all this week, though. I've just been busy this week with errands and appointments and stuff. So I've missed all of his lives this week. Except for today. I didn't watch it today, and I was planning on watching it. But then Candace Owens went live. Can You Talk, Moon? And I needed to see that debate with that guy. Oh, that scumbag, more like it. Okay, stop, Moon. No name calling. Okay, with that gentleman, I guess, if you will. Andrew. Oh, she fried him, you know? There's no coming back from this, Andrew. There's no coming back. I even told him, you have mud all over your face. Just leave now, you know? Put your little tail in between your legs and just walk away while you still can. Horrible person. Horrible. He didn't even do any research. He didn't even know what charges were brought. And I'm just like, Not that I was ever rooting for him, but hopefully now he'll shut his mouth. Probably not, because he just seems like that narcissistic, arrogant kind of a-hole, and he probably won't. He'll keep it up. He'll keep talking smack about Candace, but you know, she handled it gracefully, and she was always on point, always ready with fact checking. This one was prepared. If she were an attorney, I would want her to represent me, you know? Anyhow, what was I saying? Oh yeah, about Peter. So yeah, I watch him. I watch David. I rarely leave comments on David's channel also. Again, I read the room. If I don't see anybody familiar, I won't comment, you know? In chat, I do comment. I'll chat, you know, and say some things here and there. But most of the time, I'll just, you know, I'll be like, I'll say hello to everybody. And I won't comment unless there's something that I feel I need to comment about. Otherwise, I just shut up and listen. I'm either eating, cleaning, showering, you know, you name it. I'm doing something. And but I'm supporting, I'm listening, you know. I have them playing in the background, and then, you know, when it's about to end, of course, I say goodbye to everybody, because I have been listening. I just haven't been active. But like I said, this week I haven't been very active. Little by little, I haven't been very active lately because I've just been really busy with appointments. And oh well, that's life, you know. I got to take care of my health. And so, oh yeah, so I was talking about Halloween and last weekend, and we went to At Home. At Home this year they brought it. They have so many Halloween decorations that are so cute. And oh my gosh, I was just taking pictures of everything that I wanted so I can like add it up when I get home, and that way I could go back and get it all, right? Halloween 2026 is expensive. This year Halloween is expensive. But you know, and there was a cat, and you all know that I like to collect black cats. I have my real one at home right now, but I like to collect the stuffies and little trinkets and stuff with black cats. And by the way, I lost my Bath and Body air freshener. I had Tabby right here. I call it Tabby also. It was a cat face and everything with a pink bow. Super cute. I think I threw it. This is a backup. I really don't like this backup. I have really bad memories from that backup. Yeah. So that's why I kept it there. But I mean, as long as I have something for now to make the car smell nice. But yeah, last time that I washed my car, which was like 2 weeks ago, that I was cleaning the inside, it popped off because of where I keep it, right? It popped off. It fell on the ground. I saw it on my Ring camera. My Ring camera recorded all of that, except for the part if I picked it up or not. And that's the part I couldn't remember. That was a Saturday that I had a really bad migraine. And so I just wanted to get inside and lay down already because I wasn't feeling good, you know? So I couldn't remember. And when I get my migraines, it's hard for me to remember things. And so I was just there like, let me look at the Ring camera. And I saw on the Ring camera, and I even heard where it popped off, but it doesn't show me picking it up. So I was like, well, that's not a lot of help. So I'm just thinking, I must have thrown it by accident. I had to have thrown it away by accident. You know? So it's gone forever and ever and ever. I did look at the website. They have some Halloween stuff already at Bath and Body. And from what I heard, some other store. Where does she go? I'll think about it in a minute. Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby already has Christmas. Another YouTuber that I watch, she got some stuff from Hobby Lobby, and she's like, they already have their Christmas stuff out. I'm like, what? In summer? Like, okay, you people are really pushing this. But anyhow, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so I checked Bath and Body. They have some Halloween stuff already. They don't have a cat. They don't have that cat. So I'm like, hopefully in October they'll have it. I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to convince myself that they'll have it so I can buy it again. But we'll see, you know, we'll see if they have it or not. I remember last year they had a cat that was like a candle holder. It was huge. And I wanted it so bad, but I just didn't have the money for it. I just really did not have the money for it. And then I forgot about it. When I had the money for it, I forgot about it. So, you know, yeah, that happens to me a lot. I forget about things. So, you know, I think it's just selective memory with me because a lot of the times I forget stuff. And I'm like, nobody ever has to worry about telling me anything because I forget. So don't worry about it. But then all of a sudden I'll remember something from like 10 years ago, you know? And I'm just like, wait a minute. Wait. Did that really happen? What the hell? You know? And I confuse myself a lot. But anyway. There's my little hair clip. There. No, I missed a hair and it's falling out. There you go. It's a messy braid. Anyway. So, yeah, but I wanted to pass by this neighborhood to see if they already have that big old skeleton that they had last year that scared me. I don't even know why I like to be scared and then I can't sleep at night because I'm scared. I know, I'm just so weird. Something scary actually happened. Now I know why I wanted to bring this conversation up about Halloween. something out of the ordinary and scary happened to me at the grocery store yesterday. First off, I was everywhere yesterday. I had my counseling appointment in the morning, and then I went to the grocery store, then I went to Ulta, and then I went to get some more anointing oil. My anointing oil broke last weekend on, I think it was Friday or Thursday. When did it break? Wednesday, because the husband came in on Thursday. By then it was already broken. So it broke on Wednesday, and it didn't break by itself. I was holding it, I was putting some on. I buy this unscented anointing oil from a Christian bookshop that's, right down the street from me. And I always put it on before I leave the house, all the time. And I was rushing that day, and it slipped from my hands, and the floors that we have are ceramic. There's no carpeting whatsoever, and it fell right on the floor. I thought maybe it just chipped the bottle, but no, it actually broke a chunk from the bottom, and all the oil was splattered all over the floor. So I lost most of it, if not all of it. I have very little left. So I was using that little bit until I got some more on Thursday of this week. And I had put it in another little container, by the way, whatever I had left. And that happened. Saturday, I had a scary experience as well, because I was in the shower, and I was finishing up a movie that, what was it called? Was it Pretty Girl? Baby Girl with Nicole Kidman. Ow, my back hurts. On HBO Max. And I don't recommend it. I'm sorry. If you like Nicole Kidman, good for you. If you love her movies, good for you. That movie just started to play right after another movie that I was listening to, that I had finished up. And once I started this movie, I had to finish it. Once I start a movie, I have to finish it, you all. I wish I was like that with books. But, yeah, it was very... Oh, okay, I'll tell you all about the movie later, because I never got to my point, right? So, I was in the shower, and then all of a sudden the movie ended. So I'm like, are you serious? That's how it ended? Like, that sucked. And, so it was quiet in my bathroom. And normally when I'm in my bathroom, I take my phone with me so I can hear some noise. I don't like silence. Sometimes I do. When I want to have my moments with God, I will turn everything off and be in silence. But not when I'm in the bathroom taking a shower. I don't like it. Well, I was in there showering, I was washing my hair and everything, and then all of a sudden I hear like a growl, like that. And at first I thought, is that my cat? Is that Tabby? Is there something wrong with her? But I was like, wait, I have the door closed. She's not even in the bathroom with me. If she made a noise like that, I wouldn't hear it, And then I thought, okay, maybe the husband came back already. My husband had taken off, I failed to mention that, to go get breakfast, because we were expecting the exterminator to come. The apartments, they cover the exterminator. They come every other month or so, or every 3 months. And so he went to go get breakfast before the exterminator man came, and I was rushing in the shower to get dressed and everything before he got there too. And my son was in his room asleep. And so then I thought it was my child, and I was like, child, is that you? Are you at the door? Do you need something? And no answer, And then I thought it was the husband. Husband, are you home? No answer. And so I get out of the shower, I check my phone, I check the Ring camera. No, the husband's truck is not there, right? I put a towel on, I get out of the bathroom. My son's door is still closed. So no, he wasn't in the bathroom, and no, he wasn't in my room. And so, and and my cat was in the living room, so in her box. So I was just like, maybe I'm just imagining that noise, So I went back in the shower. I go about my business, And then I remembered, damn, I forgot to turn the phone back on, to put something to play in the background. And once again, I heard it, but it wasn't as loud. This time it was a little bit further, and it was just like a roar, like that. And I was just like, okay, what the hell is that, So by that point, I had already finished my shower. I get out of the shower, I'm drying myself. I get out of the shower. And again, I'm like, husband, are you home? No answer. And I was like, child, is that you or not? Do you want something? What do we need? What's going on? No answer. So then I finally come out of the bathroom. I get my clothes, I get dressed, nothing's around, and I don't hear that noise anymore. And I'm thinking, okay, that was freaky, but I'm just going to ignore it, I'm going to pretend it just did not happen. And it never happened anymore. It hasn't happened anymore. But I bet if I were quiet in the bathroom with no phone, it would happen again, probably. And so then, okay, so let me get to the grocery store. That's how I know Halloween's approaching. And so I get to the grocery store yesterday, right after the counseling. Well, no. First I went to the Ulta, then I went to the grocery store. So I'm there, and I'm getting my items, right? And I'm looking at my list on my phone, and I'm approaching the aisle where the cleaning supplies are, because I'm needing some cleaning supplies as well. And right as I'm getting there, all of a sudden I feel like a slap on the back of my left shoulder. And it was a hard slap to where I heard the impact. It was like, I'm going to do it on my right shoulder, see if I can do it right. Like that. And that's exactly how it felt, that hard, And I just froze. I just stopped walking forward with the cart, and I just stood there and I froze. And I looked around me, and there was nobody around, and I was just like, maybe it was, I've spoken about her before, the lady that I know that works at the cosmetic department. I thought it was her trying to get my attention, wanting to say hello. But I'm like, she wouldn't come from behind me and do something like that. I walked forward, and I looked into the aisle, and there was this older gentleman there looking at the dog items, because it was the dog aisle. And I'm like, surely it was not him. He's looking at the items, and he's a bigger, older gentleman. Why would he hit me, But then I looked back, and there was still nobody there, but it never occurred to me to walk back there, because I thought, well, if somebody threw it from behind me, they're gone. They're long gone. They probably thought this was funny to hit somebody and ran off. So it really startled me to the point where once I got to the next aisle, which is where the cleaning items were at, I called the husband, and I told him, you're not going to believe what just happened. And he's like, what? Because something's always happening to me, you all. And of course, he always downplays everything I tell him. So he's either like, oh, that happens to me too. Every time I go to the truck stop, something falls off the shelf, or every now and then it happens. No big deal, no biggie. Just go on with your life. And I'm just like, still startled, and I tell him, that's not right. That's not right. And I'm such a bad storyteller that I forgot to mention this too. When I had froze and I looked around everywhere and I didn't see anybody, I looked on the floor, and there was this pumpkin pie plush dog toy. So somebody threw the pumpkin pie plush dog toy at my back and hit me really hard with it. And allegedly, I picked it up, and it was kind of heavy. I guess it had like some squeaky toy inside, you know. And I put it on the shelf that was on my right side because I was trying to make sense. I thought, if it was on the shelf up here and it just happened to fall on me, it would have hit my right side, not my left. And it would have hit the top of my shoulder, not the back. So that's why I was startled, but I continued doing my shopping. You know, I would look around every now and then to see if maybe somebody was following me, maybe they were recording me, maybe they were like wanting to see if I had any other reaction, or just wanting to see how I reacted to the whole entire thing. But I acted like nothing ever happened. And I checked out and everything and left, and I went to my next errands and stuff. And then I get a call from the grocery store that my prescription's ready. So I was like, well, I'll go the next morning, which is this morning. And I still kept thinking about that incident, you know? And I was like, you know, I should have told one of the managers, you know, to look into it right then and there, but I was just too startled to do that. So this morning, when there was a lot less people, I got my prescription first. And then I saw a manager standing around, and I was just like, excuse me, sir, can I have a word with you really quick? And he's like, yeah. And he was kind of like looking at me like, uh-oh, what happened, you know? And so I started telling him, and I said, if you don't mind walking with me, I can take you to where it happened, right? And he was like, yeah, sure, you know. So we went all the way to the back over there, and I told him exactly where it happened and where it hit me, where it fell. And I said, and you know, I explained to him that I thought it fell off the shelf, but there's no way it would have hit me on this side if it was on this side, and he agreed. And I said, is there a camera right here? And I said, oh yeah, there's a camera right there. And there was a camera facing in directly into that area, you know. And I asked him, I said, would you all be able to go and look at the footage to see if maybe somebody threw it at me? Because, you know, I'm trying very hard to convince myself that nobody would have done something like that. I don't know anybody here, you know. There would be no reason why somebody would do that, you know. And he's like, well, not right now. And I just didn't like the way he answered me, you know. He just didn't seem too interested in trying to help me, which made me even more angry, you know. So then I just told him, well, you know, because I'm thinking about filing a police report, you know. And he was like, yeah, sure, go ahead, you know, you can do whatever you'd like. And if they want to investigate, we'll be more than happy to show them the footage. But you won't look at the footage? And I said, well, sir, just so you know, when somebody throws something at you, whether it was a minor or an adult, that's considered assault. And I mean, I was concerned. I'm a customer, and you should be more concerned about it because, you know, yesterday was a plush toy. What's it going to be next time? It could be a canned food that's being thrown as a joke. You know? So I was just like, I really wish that this was taken a little bit more serious. And he's like, well, you know what? Let me get your name and number and your address. I'm like, my address? Why would you need my address? You know? And he was just like, oh, I just want your information, you know, so we can have it on file that we document this incident, you know? And I was like, thinking about it, and I was like, he didn't even ask for my ID or nothing. Why am I giving him my address, you know? And it just seemed a little bit off to me, you know. And I was just like, how do you even know I'm giving you my real name and my real address and phone number, you know? So I just left a review at that HEB, briefly explaining the experience, and that was it. Now, I did get a response right away there for me to call the 1-800 number. I called the 1-800 number. There was no option to speak to a supervisor or anybody in corporate. So I'll have to look for a corporate number on Monday, which I will, because, you know, again, to have the audacity to throw something at somebody that you don't know, that's unacceptable. You know, and I suffer from a lot of back pain. I have thoracic scoliosis, and it hit my shoulder pretty hard. Now, I'm not claiming any injuries, thank God. But yeah, you know, again, it was a plush toy. What's it going to be next time? What is going to be the next prank? You cannot do that. You can't just throw things at people and then go about your business acting stupid, like you didn't see anything, you didn't do anything. That's very harmful. You know, especially with somebody you do not know. It would have been different, like, again, I always try to reason with things. It would have been different if there were some kids playing around. They meant to hit their sibling or their friend that they were with, and it ended up hitting me. But they would have come up to me and been like, "Oh, ma'am, I'm so sorry. You know, we were just playing around, and we're so sorry that it hit you. You know, and please, you know, I apologize." That would have been so much better. I would have been like, "Oh, okay. Well, thank you for apologizing," and I would have gone about my business. I wouldn't have made such a big stink about it, having to go to the manager and threatening to file a police report and all this other stuff, you know. But nobody came up to me, so obviously whoever did it thought, "Oh, this is hilarious. I got it on video, you all. I'm gonna put it on my TikTok and be famous." You're a coward. You'll never be famous. You're a coward. And may karma hit you. So yeah, you can tell that I'm upset about it, but yeah, nothing like that's ever happened to me before. But, you know, in my life, there's never a dull moment. I can tell you all that much. Never. And it always happens when I'm minding my business. And, you know, but it made me aware that I've been letting my guard down lately. I was always aware of my surroundings. I always made sure to be aware of my surroundings. And apparently I let my guard down yesterday to where something like that happened. And I didn't catch it. And I didn't respond. You know? So yeah. I'm not giving them any credit. But it was a wake-up call for me. You know? And yeah, I'm going to start carrying some mace in my wallet. I'll hook it on there. And yeah, if that ever happens again, I'm going to mace whoever did it to me. I don't care if it's a minor. I will mace you. Because you just tried to cause me harm. You know? Especially if you're an adult, I will mace you. But anyhow, yeah, you just can't be too careful anymore this day and age. At the grocery store, you all, I'm still shocked by that. At the grocery store. You know, not even at the mall. At the grocery store. But I'll let you all know what comes out of this. Because, yeah, more than likely, I could tell you that our police department is not going to do anything. You know, and I hate to say that. I'm not trying to jinx myself. But because it was a plush. Now, if it was a can of food that would have hit me, that would have broken a bone, a shoulder bone, then more than likely they would do something. But because it was a plush toy, they're probably like, "Oh, no big deal. Yeah, okay, we'll document it. Yeah, we'll do a report. Here's your number, your case number." You know, you come pick it up in a couple of days, have a nice day, and they won't go look at the footage. But, you know, who knows? Who knows? Maybe if I just have the report, that's good enough. You know, I don't know. Well, anyway, if you made it this far, thank you for listening. I hope that you all enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and I will talk to you all again soon. Bye!